What's up guys, my name is Kara. Welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Matthew 15 Bible study. Recently I had on my channel a live video that I did, and I'm looking forward to doing more of those live videos in the future, but I thought I would have an official video for Matthew 15 just so it's a little more polished and like you can't see the chats after you post the live for people that are just like coming in, so it might not make a lot of sense, you know? Anyway, sorry I'm so low. Okay, I feel like I'm low, but like, I don't really know. Also, like, I could be all the way up here, and you wouldn't really see me. And like, I really just had to show off this new table that I got because we're redoing my room. And wait, I'm gonna go back down. But there's this little hole. It's like a palette or a panel, or I don't really know what the technical term for this is, but it's like what painters use, you know, to mix their paint. It's like the hole and everything. It's shaped like it. I don't know, I saw it at Hobby Lobby and I was like, we have to get this. So now we're just matching everything to this table. No. But I don't know, I really like it. We're doing, okay, sorry, I'm getting so off topic for my room transformation. I should have a video about that eventually, so just like go check out my channel if if you're seeing this at a way later date. You know, I feel like an official person on stage. You know, I got my water, but got my paper, got pens over there, sticky notes, you know, all the things. This reminds me of one of my first videos that I did about like over Genesis, I believe. Yeah, I'll have to put like a little video in here or here. Hey! Oh. Genesis 3, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. I don't know, but just to show you, I love it so much. Matthew chapter 15, verse 1. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? Okay, sorry, I had to move all my sticky notes. And so I believe we were on verse 3, but I'll just reread it again. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. So just to kind of break it down, starting with verse 3, just like, why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? So it's saying like God or tradition, you know, which, like, honestly, when it comes down to it, which one are you worshiping more? Like, it becomes almost an idol if you're looking for the things that you like are used to, if you're becoming complacent in the things that like you know, versus like God's trying to stretch you. He's trying to make you like have a larger capacity for the things that he's doing in this world, because he is way greater than we are. And like he's trying to expand us. When we're stuck in our tradition, we're stuck in our patterns, he can't do that. So when we're pushing God away because we're like, yeah, well, your disciples they don't wash their hands, so I mean, what does that say about you, you know? But when we're so stuck on that, we can't move past it in the fact that like they're missing Jesus because they're so stuck on the traditions of their people. And what this is saying, like later on in like verse 5 and 6, basically it's saying you have, like, say your mother and father need money, but you have an excuse like, well, I can't give you money because I need to tithe to the church. Of course you need to tithe, but you also need to take care of your mother and father, because it says honor thy father and mother as one of the 10 commandments. And if you say that you're doing things for God, but then you're not following like along with him in his word, then that puts it, like it says in 6, thus have you made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. You're so worried about the technical things that you won't give your things, like you won't help your mother and father, or just like anybody at that point, you know. Verse 7, ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. That goes back to Isaiah 29:13, and in an attempt to like give you time to flip through with me in case you're following along with your Bible, we're just gonna flip together Isaiah 29:13. And of course, if you have any comments or questions or anything, just go ahead and comment that down below. No promises to have all the answers. Well, I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I can certainly try to find an answer for you, or just like talk with you through some things. What did I say it was? 9:28? That's not even a thing. You know what? Apparently it's going to take me longer than it's going to take you, so I'm going to fast forward. Isaiah 29:13, just in case you missed that though. It says in Isaiah 29:13, it says, wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear toward men is taught by the precept of men. And I'm going to just read 14 too. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Ooh, I like this too. Woe unto them, this verse 15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? It's just interesting for verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall a thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? So I'm assuming from verse 15, like this is just what I'm gathering. I mean, it could be off, but it says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord. Like, as if you're acting like God can't see all of the works that you're doing, like all of the evil things that you're doing. You say that you're trying to honor God with your mouth, but your heart is far from them, and God knows where your heart is. He can discern all things. But then it says later, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? Like they're getting away with it. Okay. I don't know, I just found that interesting. Going back to Matthew 15. After saying in verse 9, but in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. So like going back to like the whole honor thy father and mother, it's not the commandment of God that they're like making sure that they obey. It's their commandments, it's their traditions that they've like trying to keep forth versus what God has said for them to do. And it says in verse 10, and he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. And we'll get to the meaning of this. Jesus explains it to his disciples in just a few verses. Verse 12, then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? I still find it interesting that the disciples just, had the nerve to come up to Jesus and be like, hey, you offended people today, right? Like Jesus has every right. In fact, like, he's more than the right to offend somebody based off of his right teaching, just because you don't want to hear someone's teachings, like, just because they didn't want to hear Jesus' teachings to them and his words about them doesn't mean that he wasn't right in saying it. But back to this. But to verse 13 it says, but he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. 14, let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. And I was thinking about this, I don't know, the other day, sometime recently, and it's like, I can't be a lost sheep anymore, like how Jesus leaves the 99 to go find the lost sheep. I can't be a lost sheep anymore if I'm trying to lead other lost sheep to Jesus, Like, you can't be blind and try to lead another person that's blind, because you're just both going to fall into the ditch. And, you can't stay in the place. If Jesus has saved you, you can't stay where you are as if the chains haven't been broken. You can't just let them stay on you, because the chains have already been, unlocked. You are able to be free if you just take the chains off. Jesus has broken the chains off, but you can't stay there and lead other people to Jesus if you, stay in your complacency. I think I'm misusing that word, but like I was saying earlier with the Pharisees, they were so caught up in their traditions that they couldn't see that they needed to be leading more people to God rather than just teaching them what to do and going through their motions, and what to say, what words to say with their mouth to honor God. It was a heart thing, Verse 15. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. And Jesus said, Are ye also yet without understanding? Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly, and is caught out into the draught? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. Blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defileth not a man. They're focusing on the wrong things here. Verse 21. Then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. I'm sorry, even in my live, I was I've had so much time to look this up, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. Verse 23. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. Sometimes we're in those moments of, God, where are you? It's one of those, but he answered her not a word. I'm not totally sure where I left off, but I feel like I was saying, I'm sorry for the distractions, guys. I'm so sorry. But But it's in these moments where we are so desperate to hear from God, we're crying after him, we're saying, God, where are you? Are you hearing me? I believe David puts it as God, incline thy ear unto my prayer. If I can find the verse for that, I'll definitely put it there or down below, But it says, But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. It's just surprising, kind of surprising how quick they were to say, turn her away, send her away. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to the dogs. And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith, be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Let's just go back to verse 27, okay? And she said, Truth, Lord, yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. She refers to herself and her people, she refers to herself as a dog, just eating crumbs from the house of Israel, the house of Israel. And I wrote down, commandments of men. What commandments are we following? Cast them down at Jesus' feet, humbling everything before the Lord. Humbling ourselves before the Lord. Because she humbles herself and refers to herself as a dog. She says, it's dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. She was willing to humble herself in such a genuine way and have the faith to say and to cry after Jesus, to continue to cry after him, even after he says, it is not right, I am sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yet Jesus never turns her away. let me just throw that out there. Jesus never turns her away. She had to cry. She had to cry unto him. She had to humble herself. And she had the faith. She followed, send her away, for she crieth after us. So I'm assuming she was following them. So she cried unto him. She was following them, for she crieth after us. She humbled herself, and then she showed her faith in her response. And then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith, be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. And Jesus departed from thence, and came nigh unto the Sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain, and sat down there. And great multitudes came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maimed, and many others, and cast them down at Jesus' feet, and he healed them. And so much that the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb to speak, the maimed to be whole, the lame to walk, and the blind to see. And they glorified the God of Israel. Verse 32, Then Jesus called his disciples unto him, and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days, and having nothing to eat, and I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. So Jesus, I'm sure I saw this in a commentary that I read. I don't really remember which one it was. It might be in the description of my live video. I could go check that out, but I usually just look up like Matthew 15 commentaries and, you know. But anyways, it's Jesus. They follow him along, but he has compassion on them because they have not eaten. And he doesn't want to send them away fasting. So you might have to fast while you're following Jesus. You might have to. You have to go along with him in the way that he's taking you, and you might have to fast. Maybe not food wise, maybe spiritually wise. You know, you have to give some things up in order to follow Jesus. But he has compassion on the multitude, and I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. It's like when Jesus went into the wilderness and was tempted. He was tempted by the devil for the 40 days. He fasted, no food, but he made it through that season of his life in order so that he could go and be and go and minister unto all of these people, and so that he can be our high priest that has endured the temptations yet has not fallen to sin. It's Romans. I'll try to find that verse too. But he says, lest they faint in the way. He doesn't want us to faint. He doesn't tell us to take up our cross daily and follow him. He doesn't say that so that we can be crushed under our cross. He says that so we can follow him even after fasting. But he will take care of us lest we faint in the way. In verse 33, and his disciples say unto him, Whence should we have so much bread in the wilderness, as to fill so great a multitude? So even after he had already done the miracle of the 5,000, they still have to question him, Whence should we have so much bread in the wilderness as to fill so great a multitude? I was like, where are we going to find the supply from, you know? And sometimes that's it. Sometimes we don't know who our supplier is, and we don't know where to go for our supply. And that's kind of where they are right now. When should we have so much bread in the wilderness as to fill so great a multitude? And Jesus saith unto them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. Verse 35, And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets full. So it just starts with Jesus giving thanks to God, you know? He takes the 7 loaves and the fishes, and he gives thanks, and break them, and he gives to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. So it's an order, you know? But they're all taken care of. In fact, they have leftovers. And it says, in verse 37, I've already read this, but And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 baskets full. And they that did eat were 4,000 men, beside women and children. Let me just say this. I'm not really sure why they were carrying around baskets. Like, it might not have been a literal basket, but God provides everything that you need for what he gives you in that moment. You know, he provides what you need for that season. You have to have the faith that he will fill those baskets, you know? Anyways, after verse 38, and they that did eat were 4,000 men, beside women and children. Verse 39, and he sent away the multitude and took ship and came to the coast of Magdala. And then it's like talking about the first verse of chapter 16 for our next Bible study. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. So there we go with that. Kind of stumbled on that, my bad. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, man. All the things. If you have any questions, like I said earlier, feel free to comment down below for real, or reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagrams are in the description box below. And yeah, like, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that it benefited you. And just go read the Bible, man. I said man like twice during that, okay? Bye. And I hope you like my table. Comment if you like my table. What? Oh, she's trying to boot me. We do this thing. Okay, hold on. Ah, ready? Ready? Boop, paw, paw. Yeah! She boops me back. Boop. No. Boop, boop. Boop me, boop. Ah, yes! Sorry. I've been teaching Teddy, the one back there, I've been teaching him bang, bang. Okay, that's fine. But like, he's got it, you know. Okay, we got it. Ready? Bang, bang. Yes. Okay,